How y'all doing today? My name's Ayin, and today's topic of discussion is going to be don't be a cog in other people's lives. Don't be a cog in other people's lives. Now, when I think about this in regards to the series of other videos that I've made talking about knowing where to draw the lines on helping people, inconsistent people, demanding consistency, and just overall being really involved in people's shenanigans. So when I think of don't be a cog in other people's lives, all of us, we have these gears that's going on about us. We have the gears of what makes up us. You got a cog, you know what a cog is, right? It's a gear. It's normally gears and mechanisms. They're in everything, watches and whatnot. This is what is used to have things in motion or have things work. So it's the same thing with our lives. You have a gear for your at-home life. You have a gear for what goes on at work. You have a gear for your family relationships. You have gears for your love life. You have gears for your recreation. You have gears and all this. And then not to mention gears for vices or things that you're trying to overcome, weaknesses that you have to overcome. These are all a part of you, and this is the makeup of you. When you're talking to people and you're trying to help them through situations or aid them in something that they may be going through, it's really easy to really just kind of jump in and get caught up in everything that they're talking about and doing. And you have to be careful of that, because if you're not aware of what you're doing, you'll become one of the cogs in their life. Whether it's an enabler, whether it's somebody who's just, you're a confidant, but you're a confidant with like no boundaries. You're just, their situations are stressing you out. That's what I mean by that. A confidant with no boundaries. Their situations, it's almost like they're your situations. And in some scenarios, they can become your situations. So you want to make sure that you're not inserting yourself into people's lives like that. One way that you can do this is when you're talking to people. I know even when I'm talking to close family members and I'm talking to loved ones, when they're talking about things, I try to get them to think for themselves instead of Ayin inserting himself in there. Now, Ayin is going to still be Ayin, and I'm still going to, perhaps, if the situation warrants it, I'm perhaps going to maybe share a little bit of personal experience. I'm not going to necessarily say what Ayin would or would not do, because it's your situation. So I'm trying to really get you to think for what's going on with you. So ultimately, when it comes down to making whatever decision it is that you're deciding to make, that's up on you. And a lot of times to get a person to think about things that they're in, it's just simply asking a question. Not asking a question for you, but getting them to ask a question to themselves. This is a way to set up boundaries. It keeps you in your own lane, keeps them in their lane. Sometimes just a listening ear goes a lot further than you just running this. A listening ear, of course, is listening more than you talk, but you're showing you're showing signs of you listening by giving input. And what I'm talking about input, like empathetic tone, and showing that you do value the speaker, but avoiding getting caught up in their lives is an entirely different thing. So whether it's a workplace, whether it's a close friend that you're talking about of a situation, you want to make sure that you're not being overly involved or inserting yourself into that. You want to make sure that you're respecting boundaries. If it's something that you're doing at work, you want to make sure that you're keeping those professional boundaries up off in place. If your job is to provide services to help people, make sure you're providing services to help people and you're not inserting yourself all off into their business. Make sure if you're a counselor and you're talking to them, again, you're getting them to think for yourself, think for themselves. You're not trying to do the thinking for them. These are just some of the ways that you draw boundaries. Make sure you don't get caught up in their life. Okay, I just wanted to take time out to share that topic with you. In the meantime, check out the book I've written, I Am Kilimanjaro's The Arithmetic of Family Communication. I'll leave a link in the description box. In the meantime, stay encouraged, avoid being discouraged, and you have a good one.